my channel, Somewhere Down the Road. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. I believe it's July 2nd, and I am on the road headed north. I've got about a 9-hour drive in front of me. I'm headed up to visit family for the 4th of July weekend. Haven't been up in probably a year, so I figured it was now or never. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing everybody and spending some time with them to celebrate our country's 250th birthday. So I will be traveling north on Florida's Turnpike for several hours. That's the one thing about Florida. I live on the East Coast, on the Atlantic side, and Florida is such a long state that it takes a day and forever to exit the state. So that's what I'm doing. I've got my bags packed, I've got my water container with me, and a few healthy snacks and a small cooler up front here, and I'm trying out my new i17 phone. I don't see a big difference. I had an i12 and I'm not really seeing that big of a difference in the camera mechanisms, or just the quality of the picture. So we'll see. Time will tell. Well, I hope you will come along with me on this journey. I'll try to show you some of the beautiful scenery in Alabama. It is not called Alabama the Beautiful for nothing. You will see a lot of rolling hills, a lot of green forest, and very rural. Unless you go into the larger cities like Birmingham, I'm going to be in a little town about 30 minutes east of Birmingham. So I will travel up and around Atlanta and then hop on I-20, and that'll take me right on in. So it's not a difficult drive at all, just a long drive. So come along, let's go. Hi again, everybody. I just made a pit stop here in Jasper, Florida, I think it is. I saw a sign saying that Valdosta, Georgia was about 50 miles away. So look out, Georgia, here we come. The traffic's been really light, considering that this is one of the busiest travel days before the 4th of July weekend. So it hasn't been bad. Looks like most people have packed their patience, and I haven't seen any crazy drivers out there. So all is well. My next stop should be Valdosta, or if I don't stop in Valdosta, I'll go on up to Macon. I've made this drive like a million times over the last 30 years. I moved to Florida 1989. I was in my 20s. So I have driven this route many times. So I will warn you that Georgia has some bad to the bone state troopers. Never speed in Georgia. I learned that the hard way when I was in my 20s. Back when you think you're invincible. I wasn't doing too much over the speed limit, but you can't go over the speed limit at all in Georgia. They will stop you on a heartbeat. But it's a beautiful state. I have to tell you, my 2017 RAV4 is rocking it. I'm getting like 29.8 miles to the gallon. Before I got into the hilly part of Florida, I was actually getting over 30 miles to the gallon. So when gas prices are as high as they are now, that's a blessing. So yeah, I filled up yesterday in Florida. I think I paid $3.69 a gallon, and I'm noticing here at this Love's truck stop that it's $3.59. Hopefully as I get on into Alabama, it'll drop even more. So we'll have to see how that goes. So I am going to get back on the road, and I thank you for joining me, and our next stop will be somewhere in Georgia. All right, take care. Okay, so we're back on the road again. What a beautiful day. My goodness, it's hot, but it's beautiful. Trees are so green. You can tell they've been getting some rain up here. Probably not enough rain. Florida's been in a bit of a drought for a while now. I don't even know how long. So we're gonna check out Georgia and see what it's looking like. But again, traffic's been relatively light considering it's a holiday weekend. Everybody seems to be driving patiently, which can't always be said, especially on the I-95 coming out of Florida. Oh my God. But I took the turnpike today, and now I am on 75 North. I'll stay on 75 North till I get up around Atlanta. That's always a lot of fun, navigating all of those overpasses and whatnot. Every time I've gone up through or by Atlanta in the last 30 years, they're always working on the road construction up through there. I apologize for any road noise. That's another thing I need to do, is buy a microphone. I just haven't gotten that far yet in my YouTube journey. So for the most part, this car is pretty quiet. I know I say a lot, but I think that's just part of trying to get used to talking out loud to a camera. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Sun shining, very few clouds in the sky. The sky is extremely blue. And all is well. I'm really excited about getting home and seeing some family. I haven't seen them in a long time. I have a sister that's battling lung cancer, so it'll be good to see her. She's a trooper. She took this Keytruda therapy or immunotherapy, and it's really worked for her. She's way past her 5-year survival date, and we are all very grateful for that. So I also have a brother and another sister up in the area too, so it'll be good to see everybody, spend the 4th of July with them, and just catch up on how everybody's doing. We reminisce about the old days, and the good times we've had. So my one sister just built a new house. She and her husband are retired, and they just wanted a little 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, nothing fancy. She's very much a minimalist, but I'm sure it's beautiful. She's put a lot of thought into making it here in Georgia. I'm at the Magnolia Plantation. I stopped for a stretch break, and sure enough, I wasn't even 5 minutes across the Florida-Georgia line, and I saw two state troopers had some vehicles pulled over, and then another 5 miles down the road, another one had a big truck pulled over. So those guys are out there doing their job. God bless them. I don't think I'd want a job where people get to shoot at me, but I am very grateful for the men and women who put their lives on the line, you know, day in and day out, just to keep everybody safe. What I used to tell my students when I was at the high school was, hey, you follow the rules and do what you're supposed to do and you won't have any trouble with them. But anyways, that's been my experience in life. So I am going to eat some snacks and go in and take a walk around the Magnolia Plantation and maybe get some water, extra water. I'm just about out of what I brought, but making good time. Again, my car's getting great gas mileage. Traffic hasn't been too bad, and everything is going smoothly so far. I've been rocking it out to some 80s and 90s music. Don't you guys agree that was like the best music ever? I like country music too, so anyways, I'll pause this video and get in here and do this, and then we'll get back on the road. Well guys, that was a fail. A small bag of pecans, I'm talking very small, with the shells still on them, was $21, and a half a box of peaches was $69. So the Magnolia Plantation might just be a little too rich for my blood. Do have a beautiful water fountain here. Very pretty. And Georgia itself is a beautiful state. All right, well, let's get back on the road. Well guys, the Magnolia Plantation was a fail. But that happens when you're out traveling. You never know what you're gonna get. It was mostly just expensive merchandise, like touristy stuff. I don't know why I thought I'd see like big counters filled with peaches and Vidalia onions. I didn't see one Vidalia onion, and they did have pecans, but they were pretty expensive. So I think we're just gonna get back on the road. We're gonna do the bypass around Macon. I believe I'm about 100 miles from Macon, and then do the bypass to get around Atlanta. That's, like I said before, that's always a lot of fun because they don't have that very well marked. So I'll have to really watch for that. And then next stop will be Sweet Home, Alabama. I'll probably have to pull in for some gas and just make a pit stop. And then I'll give you a little information. We're gonna pass through the Talladega, or pass by the Talladega National Forest, and we'll talk a little bit about NASCAR and the Talladega 500 for you NASCAR fans out there. All right, stay tuned. Well, hi guys. This is gonna be my last video for today. I just made it around Atlanta, and it was harrowing. I'm telling you, I've never seen it that bad. I was on the 285 bypass, and it was like a parking lot, except there were people swerving in and out of other cars like they were running an obstacle course. I'm like, this has got to be teenagers. Nobody with their frontal lobe fully attached would drive like that in traffic like this. It was insane. It reminded me of what Florida's I-95 looks like when we have a huge hurricane coming at us and people are trying to get out and the governor's opened both sides of the highway, letting everybody go in the same direction. It was worse than that, actually. I've made this trip so many times and I just don't ever remember it being that bad. So on my way back, I'm gonna leave like at 3 in the morning and see if I can beat that morning rush hour traffic, or I'm gonna have to choose an alternate route. I can't do that again. That was horrific. I'm like, OMG, how do these people do this every day? I would have to move. I couldn't do it. But anyways, now I'm taking a brain break and you know, like a pit stop. I had to get some gas. I'm about 100 miles from my destination. I wanted to kind of film some of the Talladega 500 Speedway entrance area for you guys who like NASCAR, but I just don't have the time or the mental capacity at this point. I'm so drained. So I'm just gonna push on and get to my destination and call it a day. It is 5:38. I've been driving since 7 o'clock this morning, Florida time, which is Eastern time. I know that at some point I'm gonna switch over to Central time and I'll be an hour back, but I don't know if that's happened yet, so we'll see about that. Yeah, it's been a long drive, so looking forward to getting to my destination and just relaxing and calling it a day. So thank you guys for coming along with me. I'm not gonna videotape a lot when I'm with my family. I'm just gonna try to spend some quality time with them. But if I do find anything that I think is exceptionally beautiful or anything I think you would like to see, I will film that and then just tack it on to this video at the end. So once again, thank you for coming along on my journey, and I will talk to you again soon, somewhere down the road. Thanks so much.